Welcome back to another video. This video is going to be the next part in the series of blog posts which I did in last few months, interfacing various type of cameras to microcontroller and ultimately connecting them over to the USB using UVC. In this post I'll be showing you how you can interface this full HD 1080 pixel 10x optical zoom, electronic image stabilization and autofocus camera to a PC over USB. This camera is from a company called Acute Logic. Model number is PE 1005. It has 10x optical zoom, autofocus and electronic image stabilization. Camera interface is available on the 60-pin Panasonic connector. It's a 0.4mm pitch connector, a really tiny connector but have a lot of pins. Total 60 pins are there. The camera has a 16-bit output. It directly supports YUV out, which you may already know. UVC also directly supports raw YUV format. Camera output is a 16-bit bus, a pixel clock, an H-sync and V-sync. There are some oddness in the interface which I'll talk about later. Camera needs two power supply, 2.8 volt and 4 volt. 4 volt for the motor and 2.8 volt for the logic. You can see here on the side there are autofocus motors and stuff. This whole assembly is quite large and complicated. Lens mechanism goes, it can do 10x optical zoom. I will be interfacing this camera to this Cypress USB 3.0 controller. This is a FX3 controller. We'll be connecting this camera to the GPIF front end of Cypress FX3. Program the state machine to capture 16-bit per clock, capture images of the camera. As I have already mentioned, this camera has this tiny 60-pin connector. So I have made a breakout board to connect this camera. This is the PCB. On the back side of the PCB, there are two regulators for camera power supply. One is 4 volt and another is 2.8 volt and a level converter for I2C. And some decoupling capacitors around the camera, and these two 40-pin headers, they go to the FX3 boards. On the back side of the board, this is where camera connector goes. These three mounting holes are for the cameras. This is how it looks once it's assembled. You can see camera connector is sandwiched between the camera and the main PCB. Let's look at the back. Camera is holded by these three mounting screws, which is M1.5 screws. These two MOSFETs with Bosch resistor are doing I2C level conversion. This is the 2.8 volt regulator for the logic, and this is 4 volt regulator for focus and zoom motors. As camera consume quite a lot of power, so I choose two beefy regulators, but I did a mistake choosing these regulators. These regulators have quite a high voltage drop. 2.8 volt regulator is okay. 4 volt regulator cannot regulate 4 volt with the 5 volt input from the bus. So instead of supplying 5 volts, I will be supplying 6 volts here. This is how it looks once the USB board is installed over the camera board. It's a nice perfect fit. You can see on your screen is screen capture of my PC screen. VLC is streaming from the camera, and camera is now focused on this DigiKey PCB ruler, and you can look at the quality. It's absolutely stunning quality. And if you try to do autofocus, let's move the camera a little bit. If it focus, it quickly focuses. It quickly focuses to another subject. Let's move back. I'm very satisfied with the image quality. You can see on your screen the camera pinout. By default it has 16-bit YUV output, 2-wire interface for configuring the camera. Although at startup it by default outputs 1080p video, so you don't need to send any command to configure it. Although the communication interface and the register information is also available in my GitHub repository, you can go and take a look at that. This project is still somewhat work in progress. The camera zoom control and autofocus control. Camera need two power supplies, 2.8 volt and 4 volt. 4 volt power supply is for the autofocus optics and zooming motors. Camera outputs H-sync, Y-sync and the pixel clock. Let's look at the interface timing diagram now. This is the interface timing diagram. It is provided by the datasheet of the camera. First glance, camera seems to be quite simple, but it's a little complicated than that. There are few issues with this camera's output format. There are two primary issues. These issues are marked in this timing diagram as red circles. You can see on the top left corner, H-sync line remains active in the end of the frame, even though frame sync has gone inactive. You need to put special logic to detect when the frame sync has a key. Second issue is H-sync does not actually indicate varied line output. First, for the very last and very first line, it remains active for too long up there on the right side corner. Last line gets transmitted and H-sync does not get deactivated till the very start of next frame. H-sync does not actually indicate active pixels. And there is a fixed offset. Even in the intermediate line, there is a fixed offset of 18 pixels in the beginning and the variable offset of less than 4 pixels in the end. This is a little bit weird. To capture lines, you need to keep track of how many pixels you have captured, and to capture frame as well, you need to keep track of how many lines you have captured. If I would be implementing this project with the FPGA, this thing will not be any issue at all. But as I'm interfacing this with Cypress FX3 USB 3 controller, which has a GPIF front end to capture data into the system, and this GPIF state machine have certain limitations. It can only do certain things. So keeping track of variable line length, really odd first and last line, had become a little bit hard. But I was able to successfully implement a state machine which can capture it. Rather than focusing on capturing individual frame, I have set up my state machine to capture individual lines, and also at the same time notifies the USB controller when the frame sync appears. You can see here on the screen the state machine diagram. State machine starts with any of these start states. Instead of waiting for frame sync to go low, it waits for the line sync to go low. It starts the DMA capture with this thread 0 here and keep on capturing the data into the USB controller as long as line sync is active. And at the same time state machine is counting two things: how many bytes have been fetched for the DMA buffer, and another thing what is counting is how many bytes has been captured for this particular line. As soon as a fixed number of bytes has been captured for this particular line, this control count hits. As soon as state machine gets into the line end state, it resets the pixel counter and wait for the next line. As soon as next line appears, it comes back into the data capture state and keep on capturing data till either the fixed number of pixels for this particular line has been captured, or the DMA buffer, the thread DMA buffer has been filled. If the DMA buffer has been filled, then it will move to another thread and repeat the same operation as long as line is valid and the pixel count for this particular line has not hit. When state machine reaches the very last line, it will wait for frame sync and interrupt CPU. From there, CPU will take over the state machine, cycle it back to the ideal state, and the whole capture process for new frame begins. That's all for this video. More details about this project can be found on my website www.circuitvalley.com. As usual, this project is completely open source. PCB source, Gerber and firmware files are available in my GitHub account.